Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what they notice about you that you may not notice about yourself. So keep your person in mind when picking a pile. So for pile number 1, we have Flower Agate with the Lovers from the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. For pile number 2, we have Malachite with the Nine of Swords from the Muse Tarot. And for pile 3, we have Fire Agate with the Two of Pentacles from the Lightseers Tarot. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever one you are most drawn to. So hopefully by now you have picked a pile. If not, you can pause the video. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Flower Agate Crystal and the Lovers card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what they notice about you that you may not notice about yourself. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you happen to enjoy this reading and you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, then you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. Also, I do have a limited amount of space for personal readings this month, so if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So let's go ahead and shuffle the tarot deck that you chose, which is the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. I don't know why I messed up those words, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so Spirit Guides of pile number 1s, what they notice about pile number 1 that they may not notice about themselves. For the person on their mind, please, can we tap into the person on their mind's perception of things they notice about pile 1, but pile 1 doesn't notice about themselves? So we have the Six of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Four of Cups. So with these first cards, what I'm seeing here is, firstly, there's something about this connection being one that is of more closeness, since the Lover's card is the card that you chose. Maybe most of you are in a romantic connection with this person, of course. That could be a pointer toward your connection, but it doesn't have to be. There could just be a lot of love between you and this person and a lot of closeness and intimacy. And the more closer they get to you, the more they notice these things that you may not notice about yourself, because you know, when we love someone, we're seeing them fully. We are looking at the person we love in front of us, and they're looking at us, right? But we don't see ourselves looking at them. I hope you get what I mean. So they see things about us that we may not always see about ourselves, because they love us and they spend so much time with us that they start to see these things. So that's what I see with the intro card. Basically a sort of explanation into what's going to sort of show up here. So what this person has been noticing about you that you may not notice about yourself is, firstly, the way you love them dearly, the way you love them with all your heart. And this may be something you already consciously know, because you do know that you love this person, but there's something about the little things that you do that shows this person how much you love them. And sometimes you do these little things that may even be unconscious. Like, you may not be intentionally always doing little things for the person you love or the people you love, but it's something that you do that shows your love. So, you know, when we do little things for the people we love, we might not think of it as such a big deal, because it's just something small. And we want to do those little things for the people we love, but the people we love often notice that. You know, the action we're taking towards them, the little things we're doing for them that show our gratitude and love for them as a human being. There's also something about the way you look at this person that just shows them how much you love them, because you look at them with so much love in your eyes and so much unconditional love, I want to say, where you just Love them as they are. And that's something I see here. Another thing I see in terms of what this person notices about you that you may not notice about yourself is how much you are changing currently. And I mean that in the best possible way. Sometimes when we say a person's changing, we associate it with something bad, but actually in this case, I see it being something good. I think you have been trying to work on yourself, trying to learn more about yourself and who you are as a person, which is maybe why you're even interested and intrigued in this topic, because you maybe want to learn about new facets of yourself you have not seen before. So with the Page of Pentacles here, this person has noticed that you have a real curiosity in getting to know yourself, but through that part of getting to know yourself, we may also be doing work on ourselves internally to figure out what parts of us are not truly us and are just how we've sort of been conditioned to be as a child growing up. So if we were conditioned to act or think a certain way, that isn't truly the core of our personality. That is just a projection that was placed on us that we sort of embodied, that we think is us. So I think you have been getting rid of negative beliefs that hold you back. I think you have been learning about who your true authentic self is and who the version of you is that is just kind of like a trauma response or conditioning, maybe beliefs that we hold about ourselves that aren't necessarily true that others have told us, like things like that. That's what you've been getting rid of. And I see that, as you've been sort of lightening the load on your back of maybe the emotional burdens you may carry, you've been finding your true self. So what Spirit is showing me as an example or metaphor is finding a needle in the haystack. Sometimes it can feel like that when we're trying to find ourselves, because there's all these other things we thought we were that we may not be anymore. Especially as we change and evolve, our ego may sometimes hold on to parts of us that were old due to wanting to feel safe. And it's like sometimes we don't see the changes we're making in ourselves because we're so associated to that old version of us, but the people in our life see it. So what they see changing about you as a result of this is they see you getting to know yourself more, learning about yourself, what you like, what you dislike, maybe finding hobbies that you enjoy, things that bring your soul joy, and maybe you're filling up your life and your routine with more of things that bring your soul joy. But there's also something about finding the internal joy within you rather than the external. That's what this person's been noticing in terms of changes of you. Like, you're not trying to find happiness through external things, people, places that are just temporary and not fully the joy you find within. Maybe this person has been noticing you become more optimistic with the sun and the sunflowers because they are symbols of optimism, because the sunflower faces towards the light. And maybe you've been doing that. Maybe you've been trying to find things in your day that bring you gratitude and joy instead of always looking towards the negative, which our minds tend to do. It's a normal human thing, but you've been doing the opposite of what your mind was trained to do, and you're focusing on the optimistic things instead of what we don't have or what we wish our life could be instead. Yes, those desires lead us to something greater where we can actually create our reality by taking action towards those desires, but we also have to find gratitude within the life we already do have instead of chasing highs, and that's what you've been doing. So that's what this person has been noticing. And the reason I say not chasing highs is because I'm hearing the song Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. So there's something about that coming through. I also feel like this person has been noticing that I'm hearing the word are glowing. Like, externally you're glowing, but what I'm actually seeing is I'm seeing this in a more spiritual way, so just bear with me as I try to explain the vision I'm seeing, because I'm seeing it in visions, not words, okay? So imagine when you are healing, when you're getting to know yourself, when you're filling up yourself with joy internally. Imagine that as a bright sun within you growing, the light within you growing. You know what I mean? And the happiness, the joy, the gratitude within you growing. It raises your vibration. The light within you, in your soul, grows. Your aura is filled with more light. Therefore, you are raising in vibration. And externally, that reflects and you start to glow from the inside out. So that's what Spirit is showing me as a vision. So this person is noticing you not only glow up internally, but externally too. And if you have been doing work to improve the external, like the physical, then this person could be noticing that before you notice it yourself. So for example, maybe some of you here have been working on eating healthier, integrating healthier habits into your life, like drinking more water. Maybe this person noticed that your skin looks clearer because you've been drinking more water, but you haven't noticed it yourself. There are little changes physically that this person's noticing about you as a result of you taking care of you. Also, I see that a lot of people in this pile could be going through huge transformations and shifts within your energy as a result on the work you're doing on yourself internally. Because we have a snake tattoo here, and I actually think I'm part of this pile because I have a snake tattoo. There's a snake kind of like arm bracelet here, and in one of the next cards we have the Knight of Swords is a butterfly. All are symbols of transformation. So you're going through a transformational shift within your life where you're becoming a different version of yourself that you never were before. And this person is maybe noticing those new sort of flowers that you are having grow. But maybe you are just noticing the old flowers sort of being released, if that makes sense. Maybe you don't notice that you yourself are blooming. And maybe that's why I was drawn to flower agate, because I just get the sense that you are becoming more graceful. You're becoming more in tune with yourself, with your heart, with what your heart truly desires, and you're going after that. And that is truly trusting your intuition and trusting your gut feelings when you follow your heart. There's also something about you becoming softer. And when I say softer, that is not a bad thing. Maybe you are learning to sort of loosen the barriers around your heart. Maybe you are learning to feel safe in your body, in the moment, be present within each moment. There's something about that coming through. And the more you heal yourself, the more it reflects in the way you treat not only yourself, but the people around you. So that's what this person is noticing. I think what this person's noticing is more so changes and transformations you're undergoing, because I do feel that this pile is very self-aware, where you know yourself and you have been getting to know yourself. So there's nothing I can tell you that you don't already know. But maybe what you're not noticing here is the changes. So with the 10 of Wands, it's like you've been releasing burdens. You've been releasing guilt. Any negative emotions or vibrations, people that hold you back or hold you down. So you can truly be free. I'm seeing a bird with a lot of things on its back, and it struggles to fly because these things are holding it down. And then this bird sort of just lets go of these burdens on its back and flies freely. So birds do represent freedom to me, so that's why I'm saying that. We also have the 8 of Wands. So you have not been procrastinating. You have been taking action towards the things you want in life. And the thing is, we can't complain about our reality if we're not doing anything to change it. And maybe that's what you've been doing. You've been not complaining anymore. You've been just working towards the things that you know will make your life better. And even if it is hard work, even if it is uncomfortable in the moment because you're going against what you're maybe used to or against the grain, it is still going to lead to results that you are already having in your life but not seeing fully yet, internally and externally. And I just saw 444. So what I'm taking from that is, the brain sort of protects us from not seeing the changes immediately because the change makes it real. And, our brains are afraid of change most of the time because it means stepping outside of a comfort zone. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, and it means when we start to change and things change, then our reality shifts and changes. And sometimes our brain is uncomfortable with change because we're stepping into the unknown. But you've been doing that. You've been going against your fears. So that's something I see here. 10 of Pentacles. Have some of you been getting closer to your family or the idea of having a family yourself or closer to family in general? I also see inner child healing. I don't know if I've mentioned that. King of Cups. Yeah, you've been seeming more emotionally balanced. And I feel like a lot of the work you've been doing on yourself is internal, but you've also been taking external steps towards what you want in life. And it just seems to be making you feel a lot lighter and happier with life, more in tune with yourself. It's like your soul's literally glowing. I'm seeing a disco ball clairvoyantly. That's cute. We have the 2 of Cups. Yeah, like, okay, when you're speaking and communicating with this person can notice that you seem a lot lighter emotionally. Like, you seem a little bit more playful. You seem a little bit more happy. You seem a little bit more grateful. You seem a little bit more emotionally balanced, calm, at peace with yourself. So I'd say this reading came up for a reason. Pat yourself on the back for all the sort of changes you may be noticing now that I've mentioned these things, but maybe some of you have already noticed this, but maybe not to the extent this person has noticed. So yeah, pat yourself on the back for the work you've been doing on yourself because it does show. And that is what I see here for you. And I think it shows in many different areas of life and many different ways. So yeah, this is what I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this Malachite crystal in the 9 of Swords in the reverse, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what they notice about you that you may not be noticing about yourself. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you find yourself happening to enjoy this reading, and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. Also, I do have a limited amount of space for personal readings this month, so if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with shuffling your cards and seeing what comes up here. But firstly, I just wanted to mention, I saw the angel number 222 just as I started your reading, which is quite interesting because you're literally pile 2. Yeah, so let's see what comes up for you. I don't know if you guys saw that. I was just getting the deck outside of the box and all the cards just kind of fell like this. So I guess I'm just gonna take some of these top cards because there's a lot of cards here. I don't think I can read them all. Okay, so the first card we have is the Hierophant. Quite interesting way of spirit giving me messages, strength. And the funny thing is, before I started even the intro, like I dropped this pack on the floor. I wasn't going to use this deck, and then I just took that as a sign that Spirit wanted me to use it. We have the Hermit. We have the Emperor. And we have the 9 of Pentacles for now. Okay. So, the 9 of Swords upright is a card of anxiety and worry, right? But when it is reversed, this is actually a good meaning. It means that you are starting to face your fears. You are starting to let go of any fears that maybe hold you down. And as someone that has dealt with anxiety, overthinking, like, trust me, I may not look like it, but I am the queen of overthinking. But anyways, what I'm saying is, as someone that has dealt with this, I understand what it's like to go through anxiety and overthinking and almost feel like your mind is just overloaded with all these thoughts of what if this happens or what if this happens. And it can weigh us down emotionally, mentally. So I feel like you've been working on your fears, on releasing your fears, on letting go of them, because number 9 is a number of release, and we see 999 here, which is something I just noticed. So that could be another angel number that is significant here, that this person's noticing you release things that aren't aligned to you anymore, emotions that aren't aligned to you anymore, thoughts that aren't aligned to you, beliefs, people, anything of the sort, habits. So maybe this is what they're noticing currently about you. You may not fully notice it yourself because these anxieties and these things you are releasing may sort of linger in the background. But as you're releasing certain things emotionally, spiritually, they are going to linger a little bit because we're so used to them being there. But once we fully release it, months go by and we're like, hey, I realize I actually haven't been overthinking lately. Like, whoa, it's kind of like that shift happens. So that is what I'm seeing here. I think you've been trying to quiet down your mind. So I don't know if some of you have been meditating a lot or just doing things to calm down your mind to make it not so all over the place. I do also think from a spiritual perspective, what Spirit's showing me, not necessarily what this person has noticed, but from Spirit's perspective is, I don't know if this is true in terms of like research and things like this, but this is just what I'm channeling. When we have a sort of like overactive crown chakra or overactive third eye, we can get so caught up within our mind and within our thoughts that it's overactive. Like our mind is overactive. There's too many thoughts. We're not grounded. We're not present. And maybe you have that overactive crown chakra and underactive root chakra where you have felt ungrounded for most of your life. But there's something about getting back in touch with your heart space, following love and not fear. Because you chose a Malachite crystal, this is a crystal of the heart chakra. So you are changing your intentions by the way you do things, where you are maybe intentionally or unconsciously choosing love instead of fear. Choosing to feel grounded and safe in your body instead of, like escaping something that you don't want to experience. It's like you've been less in your head and more in your heart. Less in the higher realms and more grounded here on earth, more present. And I think that is how you're finding that overall balance where you're no longer going to be swept up in the thoughts that your mind is telling you because you're not your thoughts. And I think that is a lesson you're currently learning with the Hierophant. So you're currently learning how to master the mind in this lifetime. How to have control over our mind and our thoughts. Or at least be at peace with our mind and our thoughts instead of controlling it. So, of course, this is coming from my human perspective, maybe a little bit limited, but there's just something about that coming through. I think you're also very intelligent. this person has noticed this about you, but you might not see that about yourself. You're very intelligent, you're very wise. And something someone told me that I'll never forget is like, I told this other person, like, why do I worry so much? Why do I think too much? Like, I wish I could have a break from my brain, you know? And she was telling me, you're too intelligent, that's why. And I was like, I don't really see myself as intelligent. And she was like, yeah, because when you think about it, some people, they don't think about things. You know, how they say ignorance is bliss. Like, let's say they hurt someone, they don't think about it. They don't care, they don't worry because they're not self-aware. But maybe you are my pile that is like, maybe you've considered yourself too self-aware, because I feel that energy here, which is why I'm mentioning this. So it's like, you're too intelligent is what I'm getting here, but not in a bad way. But maybe you haven't noticed that strength of your intelligence and that strength of your imagination too. Because when you think of somebody that is a warrior or an overthinker, they usually have a very active imagination. And when you can use that active imagination to do things that serve you and help you sort of use that. For example, visualization. You know, when a negative thought comes up, think of the opposite reality you do want. Like a worry or fear comes up, you think of the opposite reality of what you do want, and therefore you're visualizing something different than what your fear is telling you. Or let's say you have a creative potential, but you're not using it, and your mind is telling you that through all the imaginative things you're using, but imagining the worst outcome, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense with how I'm speaking, because I'm just channeling all of this. So maybe you have certain strengths within you, certain potentials that you can tap into that you haven't tapped into before, that will make it a whole lot better, your reality. So maybe you have creative potential that you haven't quite tapped into yet. Maybe you have a sense of intelligence that you haven't quite tapped into yet, or realized that you have yet. Maybe you have wisdom within you that you haven't quite used yet. There's something about that. Even talents, strengths of your own, that this person sees that you may not see yourself. So ask them, what do you see in me that I don't see? Like good things. Because I can tell you there's so many good things this person sees about you, strengths, not even weaknesses or flaws, strengths, the good things about you that make you you, that almost make people put you on a pedestal. You may not see that, but this person sees that. So ask them. The reason it's not coming through as a specific thing is because it could be different for all of you. So remember, this is a general reading. The Emperor here, the Knight of Pentacles. What is this about, Spirit? I think what I'm noticing here in the Hermit, what is really sticking out to me is the footprints. I'm not yet getting a message for the Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, but I'll pull more cards and see what comes to me. But with the Hermit here, I'm noticing the footprints in the sand. And what I heard from Spirit in the sort of quietness was, nobody has taken a step in your shoes. So nobody is going to understand you fully. You may not even understand yourself fully. So people are only seeing you from their limited perspective of how they've seen you walk through life. But nobody can judge you at all for that because they've never walked in your shoes. And even this person may not fully notice everything about you or understand you fully, not because they don't want to, but because they haven't walked in your shoes. So it's about understanding, this is coming from Spirit. This is not just about understanding what this person sees in you, but thinking, what steps have I walked that sort of shaped me into the person I am today? where you can take guilt and blame of yourself for maybe even parts of yourself you dislike because you were shaped into that person because of your experiences. But I think, again, coming back to that, you are learning to release things that don't serve you or align to you anymore. So these parts of you that are coming up right now, if you're noticing certain parts of you that you may dislike or may not fully understand yet, they may be showing you a different perspective of yourself or why you have that trait in the first place, so that you can release it because maybe it's no longer aligned to your soul at this point in your journey. So that is what I'm seeing as a channeled message from Spirit. I think with the number 4, again, you've been learning to feel safe in your body, secure with yourself, with all parts of you, all versions of you. And I think this is truly a blessing. It's a blessing to see you step into this. So this is what this person's noticing. It's like when you thrive, it's a blessing to the people around you. And that's what you may not notice about how this person's viewing it. People that really love you want the best for you. And when they see you thriving in life, it is a blessing to them because it brings them joy. So when someone truly loves you, they want to see you happy. But if they're envious of your happiness, then they don't truly love you. But this person loves you because they're truly happy to see you happy. And that's what I'm getting from the imagery of the card 9 of Pentacles. Let's get the rest of your cards. Funny thing, the moon is at the back of this pack that fell, the cards. And I mentioned something about you having an overactive crown chakra. I think you're very intuitive. You're my intuitive pile. We have the Lovers, because the moon is a card of trusting our intuition. We have the Knight of Pentacles. You may relate to pile 1 if you were drawn, because their card was the Lovers. Page of Wands. The 10 of Cups. The 9 of Wands. The 6 of Pentacles. Page of Cups. The 3 of Pentacles. And the Knight of Cups. Your pile may be a little bit longer than the others because of how many cards came out, but I might not look at them all. So, the Lovers, Knight of Pentacles. This person has noticed that you are very consistent with your love. You may not notice that about yourself in the way that you treat others, but you know, like when you show people your love, you are very consistent. You're not a wishy-washy type of person when it comes to your love. This person has noticed that you give so much, you're so generous. And maybe you know that about yourself already, but the key thing I'm seeing here is how consistent you are with your love. I think you love people so much that you sometimes wonder, am I doing enough for the people I love? Am I showing enough of my love? But you are. And that is like basically the message I'm seeing here. Also, I do think that with the Page of Wands, Page of Cups, so this is something you may have somewhat noticed about yourself, but not to the extent this person has. Again, you have a very big heart, but there's something about you bringing a sense of lightheartedness to your relationships around you, to the people around you, to your friends, like this person, everybody around you that loves you and spends a lot of time with you. You bring light to their life, even when they're having a stressful day, when they have a lot of problems. When they're just going through things, you light up their whole life and day. And you don't realize the extent that you do that. You bring so much playfulness to their day whenever they're having a bad day, whenever they're stressed out. There's something about you having a contagious happiness and laughter. When you're happy, everybody else around you's happy. Even if they're sad, you bring their mood up, you lift it up. So what you don't see about yourself is how uplifting you are to the people around you. You're just such a lover at heart. I think you already know that, but I don't think you see it to the extent the people around you see it. The people you love, because they are the ones that are receiving it and feeling loved by you. I'm hearing you've made them feel more loved than they have by anyone else in their life. And this is why it's coming up, because you may know that you are a lover at heart, but you may not realize the extent that people around you feel it, how they feel loved by you. What you may not realize about yourself as well is you inspire a lot of the people around you to change things within their own reality. So because you are releasing things that don't serve you and aligning to the higher version of yourself, since this pile is very spiritual, there's something about when you do that, you inspire the people around you, even people that are older than you. And there's something about that coming through. So maybe this person notices that with the people around you, even people in your family that may be considered older than you. What you don't see about yourself fully that this person sees is how independent you are. You may think that you rely on people too much, or you need people around you to feel okay, but actually what this person sees is that even if you don't have anyone around you on your side, you will still be okay. Like, you will still find a way. You're very self-sufficient. You can survive on your own and then still find people that align to you. So there's something about your independence. You may sort of not see how you can truly be on your own and still be okay. But the thing is, you don't want to be alone. That's understandable. Nobody wants to be alone. But there's just something about that coming through where even if you had to be on your own for a journey, you'd be okay. Like, you may not have that much trust within yourself, but you're able to do it. We have the Tower in the reverse, the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Magician, and the Four of Pentacles reverse. So those are the last cards I'm going to pull. You've been restructuring your life, pushing away like what you don't want in your reality, and stepping into and creating what you do want, even if you don't physically have it yet. So I feel like you're stepping into this new frequency where you're not making the same actions you did in the past. Like, you're not taking the same actions you did in the past. Like, you're pushing that away and restructuring your life, restructuring what you do so that your life can change. Because the actions you take every day determine how your life goes, right? The power is always in your hands to create your reality. And that's what the Magician represents. Like, you have everything you need to create the reality you desire. So you're embodying this new frequency where you don't have that life you desire yet, but you're living in that frequency as if you already have it. So maybe this person is noticing this. Maybe you already know this because this is something you're maybe doing intentionally, but why is this coming up here if maybe they already noticed this? What is coming up from this? You don't realize how strong you are. You don't realize how capable you are of having the life you desire. And you don't realize how many people around you see you becoming this, have seen your potential to become what you want to become right now. They've seen it already a long time ago. They've seen that potential, but you may have not seen that yourself. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave your reading pile too. Wonderful reading. I love doing this reading for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this fire agate crystal and the Two of Pentacles, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what they notice about you that you may not notice about yourself. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you happen to find yourself enjoying this reading, and if you want to stay up to date with what I post daily, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button. Also, I do have a limited amount of space for personal readings this month, so if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So let's go ahead and shuffle your cards and see what comes out for you. So cool. As I just looked at my phone, it's 11:11 on the clock. And what I've been noticing recently for my pile 3s, I've been seeing 11:11 a lot lately. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Swords. So what they notice about pile number 3 that they may not notice about themselves. The person on their mind, please. We have the Empress, the 8 of Swords, and the 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, so what I'm seeing is a storyline in the cards just intuitively. The first thing I'm noticing here is you may be an ancestral cycle breaker. This may be my pile of people that have maybe lived very hard lives, that have felt like the black sheep, that have felt very misunderstood and have felt very different to your own family. So if you don't relate to that, then I don't know if this pile's fully for you, but just see if it relates to you or not. But for most people in this pile, you have felt very different from not only the people in your family, but people in real life too. And you may have not felt exactly understood by people. People may try to sort of put you in a box that you don't want to be in. You may be very authentic to your self-expression and who you are on a natural core level where you don't conform to what people want you to be, but you are yourself authentically, and you radically accept yourself as you are authentically, so you naturally expect others to do the same. And I think you already know this about yourself, so why is this coming up here, Spirit? There is a reason why some of you don't want to turn out like certain people in your family. For a lot of you, this is a mother figure in your life that you don't want to turn out like, or a parental figure. Someone that brought you up, because the Empress is usually a mother figure, but since she's pregnant here, I'm just thinking parents, naturally. There is a reason why you don't want to end up like them. Maybe you're here to create a change within the family line that this person sees. There's a reason why you're different than them, and there's a reason why you think differently than them, act differently than them, and don't want to turn out like them. There is a reason why you are the black sheep in your family, because you are here to bring a different frequency. You're here to bring a change. You're here to get the family line out of the stuck place they once were in. And I think you already know this. So again, why is this coming up, Spirit? I want to get to like the core reason of what they're seeing that you don't see. Okay, so I'm hearing from Spirit, this may feel like an uphill battle. This may sometimes feel more like a curse than a blessing, that we have to sort of clean up after our ancestors, that we have to almost take all the things our parents put onto us, heal from it, and they are not the ones healing or in therapy, but they need it the most. This is my pile of people that maybe come from broken families, because I'm seeing Lilo and Stitch clairvoyantly, where she says to her older sister, "Are we a broken family?" This is more of a blessing than a curse. And what I'm saying here is not to invalidate your feelings, because your feelings are completely valid about the situation here. but this is more of a blessing than a curse. Because again, you're here to bring what your ancestors do want to the family line and get rid of the stuckness and the stagnancy so that your family lineage can be free of what has sort of bound them in the stuckness. You are different from your family, and that is true because I read something a while ago where it said something like, if you're very different from your family's not part of your soul family. And I'm seeing that in the reading. They're not your true soul tribe, but you are going to meet your true soul tribe in this lifetime and create those family connections that feel like family, even if you may feel like you don't have that family you can call family today. It may be people outside of your actual bloodline. It may be that you create your own type of family. And a lot of you may be asking yourself, well, why would I want to choose this? Why would I want to do this? Because I don't want to deal with any of this. And that's completely understandable and relatable. But what I am seeing from spirit, I don't know if this person is seeing this deeply into it spiritually, but maybe they're seeing aspects of this, but spirit is showing it to me in a more spiritual perspective and lens. But maybe they're seeing aspects of this, but not knowing what to call it, if that makes sense. So what I'm seeing here from spirit is actually you are one of those souls that are here with a mission to assist others. So spirit is making me hear the words helper spirit. So what spirit is showing me is certain souls have certain missions. And I think I could use a better way to describe it, but that's just what I'm hearing. Certain souls have certain missions. Some people are here to aid and help humanity, where they're natural, helpful people. They want to help the world, and that's what you're here to do. And maybe a lot of you have felt like maybe it's part of your soul's purpose to help others, and that's what you're here to do. So that's part of your soul's frequency, your soul's mission in this lifetime. And it is going to lead to great blessings that you don't see. So maybe this person has seen that you're meant to help people in your soul path or purpose, but maybe didn't think of it in a spiritual way. But they see you doing that. But you're also helping your family lineage. Also, what I'm hearing from your ancestors, this may not feel like an easy journey. This may feel like an incredibly hard journey of letting go of what our parents did not heal from, letting go of bad habits that our parents had that we may have taken on, things like that. It's very hard work to change that internally, and yet it's also not impossible at the same time. But you may not see the results or the blessings of this now as you're in the difficulties of it. But once you pass through those difficulties and it becomes a new normal for you where you aren't making the same mistakes that your family lineage once made, then you're going to start actually seeing the blessings of that. So that's what I'm seeing. Maybe this person's seeing that, but again, not in such a spiritual perspective, unless they are spiritual themselves. I think this person has noticed that you have many different aspects to you. You're not just a one-dimensional person. And I think that's also why a lot of people have maybe misunderstood you, because they sort of tried to put you in a box and think of you as you're only this one trait, but then they see multiple different traits within you that coexist with that one trait, and then they get confused. So you're a very multifaceted person, a very unique human being, and this is what this person has noticed about you. And I think you already know that. So again, can we go deeper into the spirit of why this is coming up here? So what spirit is telling me here, going deeper into this topic, is because you're so multidimensional, because you have so many facets to you as a unique human being, where you're so unique you can't be put in a box, you're a very interesting person to be around because you have many contradictions about you, but that's what makes it interesting getting to know you. What this person is noticing about you that you may not notice about yourself is you may only see the negative sides of this, like, for example, being misunderstood. But people that are just like you are also unique like you, and they relate to that, and they feel understood by you because you understand that part of them too. So what we see here is a mirroring effect that you may not see, that you may have felt misunderstood and you don't want to make others feel that way. So you do your best to try and understand the people around you, and you make them feel seen by understanding the multiple facets of them, if that makes sense. And in turn, they want to understand you deeply to show the same. So this person has tried their best to sort of analyze you and understand you deeply as well so that you can feel understood. And that's maybe what you're not noticing here. So maybe they understand deeper into why you have these different sides of you that I may be not even seeing in this cards because it could be different for all of you, but maybe this person is understanding the purpose behind each one of these traits you have, the reason behind why you have these traits you have. Maybe they understand deeper than what you see it, if that makes sense. So I guess the best way to get this answer is to maybe ask them, like, what do you see in me that you've noticed is like deep and profound that I may have not seen? Let's get some more cards. You may feel as though in this space of letting go of things that don't serve you, but also not just that, but not becoming the people that have put the hurt and pain onto us and perpetuating that harmful cycle, is almost feeling like things are falling apart, but actually things are falling into place. So just when you're thinking you are not doing well, when you think you are falling apart, when you think maybe you are even broken, that is not true at all. You're actually becoming a better version of yourself. You're actually letting things fall into place. And this is what this person's noticing about you, that just when you think you're doing your worst, you're actually doing your best. We have the King of Swords in the reverse, the Nine of Wands in the reverse, upright. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Five of Swords. I'm hearing a song, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. Just give me a second. It's like, you made me hate the city. Something like that. And I don't talk shit about you on the internet. And then she goes like, I don't relate to you. Somehow I can't think of the name of the song, but I know the song. If you know what song I'm talking about, you'll know. But there's something about that coming through. I heard the I don't relate to you part very much so more. So maybe you don't relate to people that have maybe hurt you in the past, backstabbed you, because you would have never treated them like that. And maybe what this person is noticing is you wouldn't have treated them that way, but some people did you dirty and did you wrong and never owned up to it, is what I'm hearing, or apologized for it. Like, you have many people that owe you apologies but haven't given you that apology or that respect. And what this person is noticing is, yes, it's true that you're not like them. You're not. So if you ever have that fear of what if I become like the people that hurt me, you're not like them at all. Like, all this person sees within you is a pure heart and a pure soul. So I guess that's what this person is noticing weird feeling, but I'm getting deja vu as if I've already done this reading before. So I don't know if I dreamt of doing this reading, but it's just a weird deja vu feeling I'm feeling now as I look at these cards. I think this person looks at you from such a deep perspective. Again, it's like they deeply try to understand you, where I may not even be doing justice to this reading because, like, listen, I'm just reading the energy and what I'm seeing here from spirit, but I'm not in this person's shoes, like looking at you, deeply understanding you. Like, of course, I'm talking to you and I'm reading your energy, but I don't know you in real life. So it's like this person sees you much deeper than I'm even reading here. And maybe that's something, maybe they notice some things within that, like trying to understand you deeply that you may not see yourself, if that makes sense. I think with the Wheel of Fortune, this kind of relates to what I said earlier, where this person has seen part of your purpose, things that you may not have figured out yourself. Like I said, with the thing of like you meant to assist humanity and help people, and you're also helping your ancestors. And you're not doing it for nothing. You may only see the challenges of it right now, but you don't see the blessings that come later on. You may think, okay, these are some of the blessings, but you don't fully see it. There's something about that coming through where you're not doing it for nothing. When you go towards your purpose, I'm not seeing it from this person's perspective now, but from spirit's perspective, your ancestors' perspectives. When you choose to help humanity, the universe rewards you, but you're not doing it for the reward. You're doing it from the goodness of your own heart. And then the rewards come as a result of that. The blessings come as a result of that. So you're not doing this for nothing. Your ancestors are going to give you a big reward and blessing for this. And so is the universe. But what I'm basically seeing here is this person has been noticing maybe parts of your purpose, parts of what you're meant to be doing, parts of what you're meant to be sharing with the world. And it has to do with tapping into your untapped potential. It has to do with making sure you're not becoming like the people that have hurt you and learning from their mistakes. It has to do with helping people with your passions and with your wisdom of the journey you've already learned. Like, you've had a lot of challenges in life, a very hard life, but you've learned a lot of wisdom from that and a unique perspective from that you can share with others and help others. And it's about finding the sort of stability from those passions, the financial stability from those passions, and doing the work behind the scenes, even if people don't see it. So maybe this person is noticing that you're meant to step into this purpose, and you are going to. So this is what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope this reading resonated for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.